I have been to the top of the mountain and to the bottom of the valley, and let me tell you something, brother. I have played a lot of wrestling games over the years, and it's one of those things that even if I'm not watching the product on a regular basis, I'm still going to play the games. I have been a wrestling fan since the early 1980s. My dad actually used to work at a bar where the Crusher was one of his regulars, and if you don't know who the Crusher is, you need to check him out. So when THQ gave me the opportunity to go ahead and test out AEW's Fight Forever, I jumped at the chance. And we are actually going to show you footage here from both the Nintendo Switch, which is what is on screen right now, and the Sony PlayStation 5. Now, if you do want to pick these up, they will be available digitally. You can also order them from your favorite retailers, including VGNYsoft.com. They have them available where you can go ahead and pick them up yourself. Now, one thing, through different parts of the game, I'm going to keep the audio lower simply to avoid content ID matches and copyright strikes because that's an issue that we have on here. So I do have my Nintendo Switch Pro controller here, and we are going to go ahead, as soon as I find my remote, there we go. We're going to go ahead and we are going to do some testing here and show you some of the features. Now, I will admit my review style a little bit different and my taste in games is a little bit different, but when it comes to wrestling games, man, I love these things. So, beautiful title screen here. Quite honestly, for a Nintendo Switch, this looks really, really good, I think. So, and then one of the nice things is when it is loading from screen to screen, you do get these little snippets here from Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and good old JR Jim Ross, some of their different things that they've had to say. And you have a number of different modes going in here. And this is the type of thing I'm not going to show you between the PS5 and the Switch because it's exactly the same. So you do have a one-on-one exhibition, two-on-one, three-way, four-way, the Casino Battle Royale, Exploding Barbed Wire Match, Ladder Matches, mini games, and training. Now within here you can also go ahead play online in a ranked match, a casual match, or a private match. And then you can go ahead and create your own wrestlers, create your own faction, and create your own arena. And then you can do the Road to the Elite, which is basically your path to becoming one of the superstars in AEW. You can do a new one or a snapshot. I've actually played this a little bit. You can go through and see some of the different challenges that you can go ahead and do. There are daily challenges on here, weekly, normal, and secret. So as you can see, I've done quite a few of these already. And then you can dive into the shop where you can change the apparel with different moves, different poses that you have. That sure looks like The Rock to me. Different things for the arena as well. You can get different stretchers, different railings, a horse. Of course, it's a horse. I'm kind of disappointed that we don't have the option to get the throne that Cody Rhodes smashed. That would have been kind of neat to see them have here. But lots of different things that you get here too. There are different poses and moves and whatnot that you can buy too. Different entrance options. It almost looks like Billy Kidman there. And then more items. You can actually purchase and unlock different characters and different attire. So like Cody Rhodes, even though he is a WWE superstar now at this point in time, he was still available in this as he was signed to AEW when this game was announced. And it's one of those things, good on THQ and AEW for making him still available because they set an expectation when this came out that, hey, you're going to be able to play as Cody. You can play as Cody. And then you can also unlock Aubrey Edwards if you want as well. Let's dive into some of the gameplay that we have here. So we're going to go to Exhibition. And let's go to the Exploding Barbed Wire match because this is kind of ridiculous. And we're going to dive in here. And then we will actually take the one and only MJF, Maxwell J. Friedman, and we will take him, we'll face against CM Punk, the chick magnet himself. There he is. Now, one thing, looking at this screen, keep this in mind when we show you the PS5 screens because it's not as big of a difference as I would have thought that there would have been. And here you can select, see that there's no DQs, rope breaks are off, countouts are off. You can select your arena, and you have a number of different arenas to choose from. So there's the AEW Dynamite Arena, Dark, Full Gear, All Out, Revolution, Double or Nothing, or Rampage. We're going to do Double or Nothing. Now, I want you to pay attention, too, because I'm not going to cut this at all. These are the entrances. This is it. So you've got MJF there, and we're already over to CM Punk. Those are all the entrances that you get. That's kind of a bummer to see and hear that. And it's also interesting to see here that William Regal is still in here. Again, it's one of those that, and I still think of him as Lord Steven Regal from WCW, but it was one of those, again, the game was in development for so long. He's come to AEW and left already, but they have him still in the game. So basically, X and Y are your strikes. You can see some blood already on the mat. Put Punk through the table there. Yeah, this is just kind of ridiculous. And like there you saw too, I hit him multiple times, and yet it went right through him. And then here's Max's signature move. Boom. We'll go ahead and see if we can't get the pin here. And just like that, MJF has won. Now, if we would have gone all the way down to the end, then you would have seen the mat explode. But even this, I think the characters look okay for being on the Switch. But now, and then you do get a star rating. So Dave Meltzer, not Dave Meltzer, but Dave Meltzer gives it 4 stars. And there are your rewards. Shows you the challenges, if you got them and whatnot. We are going to exit the match here. All right, up next, I want to do a casino battle royal here on the Switch because this is where the system really gets taxed and it causes quite a few issues. So I've already gone and we're going to do a group, and we're going to be the Hearts. And let's see here. I don't want Luchasaurus. Let's bring in Kenny Omega. And who else do we want in here? Now, one thing about this, too, if you notice here, that you can actually mix and match men and women in here, and I'm not a big fan of that. We're going to have some freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Now, I'm also on this, I'm going to turn up the volume on the game because it was quite low before, and I did that deliberately. I just did not want to get a Content ID match. Now, we're in a select arena.
Making his way to the ring, Kenny.
Now, one thing I didn't show before is the fact that here you do have the ability to, change the pyro and whatnot. Now, one thing here, you can notice that there is music, but there's no commentary. There is no Jim Ross. There's no Tony Schiavone. There's no Excalibur. I don't understand why we don't have any running commentary in here. It also has this kind of shaky cam thing that I don't know that I'm the biggest fan of. And there you saw, too, there was quite a bit of lag and delay there. Or just buffering, really, is what it was. Oh, here we go. Powerbomb into a V-trigger! There we go. Now, unlike some of the WWE games, there was no battle there to get him off the ropes. Once he was basically, did you see that spaghetti action basically on those ropes too? Definitely something that I've noticed more so on the Switch version than on the PS5 version, which I'll show you here in a minute. Nice standing drop kick from Omega. Powerbomb, V-trigger. Come on. Now, and you've seen me do the same move over and over. Part of it is just because there isn't a whole lot of move variety in this. That's one of the bummers. Again, a little bit of a stutter there. We are now moving over to the PlayStation 5, and just want to kind of show the loading screens and everything here. This looks pretty much the same as what we saw on the Nintendo Switch, which is a good thing, and says, pretty decent things about the Switch version. Let's dive into the locker room here for just a moment. So again, just comparing apples to apples. Now, one thing right now is I do have the audio turned off. Again, we've actually been warned by THQ that you may get some copyright content ID matches if you do have your music on during that stuff. So, final thing I do want to just show in here right now is we're going to just do another one-on-one. We're going to do a normal one-on-one, and we are going to take, another, great roster. Same thing basically as what we have on the Switch version. Let's take Cody versus, check this, Dustin. And we're just going to do AEW Dynamite. Now, this screen I think does look a little bit better on the PS5, but it's not huge. I think it's interesting, too, they decided to go with an animated character here versus just using photos. It would have been easier.
This is going to be an exciting match.
And that's the only commentary. Oh, nice running Larry to start from Dustin on, or from Cody on Dustin. Now, the models, I think, do look a little bit better on this than what we just saw on the Switch. Oh, nice power slam from Cody. But I will say it doesn't have the graphical improvements from one versus the other that I would have expected. Like comparing, the only thing we really have to go by is WWE 2K18. And comparing the PS4 version to what was on the Switch. Oh, nice monkey flip. I think the hit detection is a little bit better here on the PS5 version. Oh, how about a stretch? The details that are close up on the characters I think is better too. There are still hit detection issues. I have not noticed, the rope issues like I have in the PS5 version. I'm sorry, in the Switch version on the PS5 version either. And then you can go ahead and head outside the ring. Into the ropes. Oh, double arm blast into the natural. Belly to back suplex. To the top rope. Oh, missile drop kick. But if you notice too, that animation was not smooth there. I do wish that there was more move variety. I will say that. It seems like, every character has essentially the same move set, which is just, it's unfortunate, especially with, again, there's a few moves like Cody's power slam there, but, the strikes are fairly similar. The moves off the top rope are fairly similar. It could use more personality to the... Oh, nice reversal from Dustin there. Ooh, what's he going to do? Hang him on the top rope. Cody Cutter! See, wouldn't it sound better to have Jim Ross or Shivani or someone like that? Ref, what are you doing taking your sweet time just to get to, the cover there? So, what do I think of AEW Fight Forever? Well, let's say this much is the fact that the Switch version works. It doesn't work great, but it works. The PlayStation 5 version works better, but I don't think it's as much of a graphical improvement from one to the other. It looks more like Switch versus PS4 versus Switch versus PS5. Now, I haven't played the Xbox version, so I don't know how that compares. I will say I've enjoyed some parts of this, but there are other parts that I found to be quite frustrating. The hit detection is not terrific. The rope mechanics on the Switch version is downright broken, and I do hope that is something that they come and fix in a patch. Is it a $60 or $70 game? Not right now. It needs some love. It needs some help. And that's especially disappointing since that guy up there in the one-on-one, Kenny Omega, one of the EVPs of AEW, actually helped with the development of this game. And they delayed this game. I hope nothing but the best for them. I want this game to succeed because just like in wrestling, when you have competitors out there, each one doing better and one-upping the competition, everybody gets better. We get better games all across the board. And right now, this is not quite what I would have liked to have seen. It needs more polish. It needs more time to cook. It needs more time in developmental, I will say. Maybe it needs to be sent to OVW, Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Maybe James E. Cornette needs to go ahead and spend some time with these. Take these boys under the collar and go ahead and get them straightened out. But I will say, first of all, thank you to THQ for letting us review both of these games. I do appreciate that. First time working with them. And, obviously they don't have any input on this review here. Otherwise, it would be absolutely glowing, where I'm telling you that it needs some improvement here. I think there's something that could be great here, but it's not ready yet, and that's unfortunate. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section, just from what you've seen here. And we're going to be doing some more. We're going to be doing some YouTube Shorts on this and probably some live streams on this. Make sure you check out Chit Chat Gaming, too, because he is going to be doing a full-blown review on this, as is our good friend John Riggs. But right now, yeah, they need to hit the showers.